Yeah, this presentation will be cover the supply chain management and SAP APO overview.
Okay.
And in this presentation, we will cover what is the supply chain management and the supply chain management solutions in SAP and APO, how it is designed in the SAP, SEM, and what is the high level APO business process, and what is the difference between the supply chain execution and supply chain planning, and what are the modules are there in APO and how it is integrated to the other systems, and your question and answers. So these will be covered in this presentation. Before we are going to the APO, first we should know what is the supply chain management. Like if you take any company, the demand flow and the supply flow will be like this, as shown in this diagram. Like normally the demand will start from the end customer to the retailer and then distributor, then manufacturer, and then vendor or supplier. And supply, these vendors, they will send the components to the manufacturer. He will assemble or he will manufacture as a finished product. Then he will send to the distributor, and the distributor will send to the retailer, and finally it will reach to the end customer. Normally this is the supply and demand flow, and the total this we can call as a supply chain management. Like all the activities involved in this total cycle, this we can call as a supply chain management. So now the world market is a pure like a broker competition. So that is the reason the importance of the supply chain management is like avoided by all the companies. So by seeing the some of the companies successful of the their business by using the effective supply chain management, all other companies also realize it to go for the to implement the supply chain management in their company. The example you can take the Dell, like when they are coming to the market, that time the market leaders are IBM and HP. Even they don't have that much of capital to compete to them, and they don't have the proper inventory that time. But using effective supply chain management, they are now the competing to the and IBM.
Yeah.
So to speak this supply chain management, it is easy, but if I want to maintain it at global level, or if I have n number of manufacturing units, n number of distribution centers, n number of retailers, and n number of vendors, like I want to integrate, I want to share the information from all the points across all the my supply chain objects or my supply chain nodes. So we need a effective software. So in the market, we have the so many vendors are there to supply this supply chain management software. Like you can take SAP, Oracle, and Ramkey, and Microsoft. So many the vendors are there. But SAP is the market leader and having 70% of the market share, and they are providing the supply chain management, the software as a different module. It's like a total, we can say the supply chain management software for SAP, what of the SAP is providing, and the APO is one of the part, and extended warehouse management, and supply network collaboration, and transportation management, and event management. Like that, we have the different modules are there in SAP SEM. APO is one of the two, and again APO having the sub-modules like a demand planning, supply network planning, production planning and detailed scheduling, global available to promise, and transportation planning and vehicle scheduling. Anyway, coming slides will cover the detailed information of each and the individual module. So here, just the simple definition of the each module, the demand planning basically for generating a forecast. Anyway, again we have the detailed slides for each and every module. The demand planning is basically to generate a statistical forecast, and the supply network planning for doing the planning and deployment and PLP for better business, and production planning and detailed scheduling. It is for the detailed level of the planning for the short-term planning, and global availability promise. Across the global level, you can check the availability check for any product, and it will be tightly integrated to the PPDS. So even if there is no availability also, it will run the PPDS planning, and it will be the capable to promise date. And to optimize the transportation cost and minimize the transportation load, So we can use the transportation planning and vehicle scheduling module. And there is a topic like a APO alert monitor. It will cover like a in all the modules. It's not like a specific module, and we can use across all the modules this alert management. Like normally this alert management, what it will do, it will give the exception messages. Like a, for example, there is a negative forecast values I have find in the demand planning. Normally my forecast should always for positive values. By mistakenly, if user gives some negative values for the promotion or manual correction, so if it is giving any negative value, so instead of checking all the materials, for example, I have 10,000 materials in my system. So the user will check for 10,000 materials. It will take like 1 week, or maybe it will be not a possible. So just I will configure alerts and it will trigger a message. So in 10,000 products, 5 products are having the negative forecast value. So that directly they can go into the system and they can correct this data, and it will take just only 5 to 10 minutes. So like that we can save the user's effort and time by using this alert. And I can use this alert across all my modules in the APO. And it is a high level business process of APO. And the advantage of the APO, we can do the planning across the globe, like Asia Pacific region and Europe region and the North America region. So I have the manufacturing units, I have the vendors, I have the pieces across my global. So I can integrate them across my global level, and I can do the global level planning. So that is the advantage of the APO. Like I can use one tool and one screen for access across my global level data. And this slide will be explaining you the difference between the SAP ECC system and SAP APO system. Like the basically why the APO system is, it is only meant for the planning. Like normally we will do the execution in the ECC system, but to do a planning we have a separate system, it's called as a APO. So how it is doing the planning? Based on the R3 master data and the transaction data. So
Yeah.
yes, Srikanth.
Yeah. Either I mean, you talk about live cache, right? Live caches. You have 3 live caches like time series or order series and ATP live cache.
Yeah.
I mean, where the it interacts with the real time LATP and the APO system would interact simultaneously, right? And what is the exact? I mean, in demand planning we call it time series, and in SNP we call the same thing. When it is pushed to SNP, it is called order series. So what basically happens with that time series? Why we call the same data in demand planning as time series and in SNP as the order series?
Yeah. So that I will cover into the integration part. That we will talk in the integration part.
Okay.
So anyway, we have the separate slide for the integration.
Okay.
So there I will explain you about that one.
Okay.
So here, like we can see the difference between the SAP ECC and SAP APO system.
Yeah.
So based on the SAP ECC system, I am doing a planning in the APO system. So to do this planning, I needed the source data, like a master data and transaction data. This we used to get it from the SAP ECC system by using the SAP standard interface. It's called as a CIF, core interface. The CIF, it will be share the real-time data between the APO and the ECC. So based on this sharing of my data, so I can do the planning in APO, as well as I will send my planning results to ECC for the execution. Clear? This one?
Yeah.
And next, these are the slides will be explained about the detailed information of the each and individual module in the APO. Like the demand planning, this is basically what it will do. Like basically, it will read the sales history of the past, and it will generate a forecast for the future. basically the demand planning is to generate a statistical forecast. So normally we have the sales invoice data in the R3. We will extract the data to APO, and based on that information, I will generate a forecast. I will read 2 years of history data, and we can generate the forecast for the next 2 years.
Okay.
And not only generating a statistical forecast, there is a lot of functionalities are there in the demand planning. Like I can do the aggregation and disaggregation planning, and we have the life cycle planning, and we have the macros for the calculation, and we have the alerts, and I have the seasonality, collaborative, and like that so many functionalities are there in the demand planning, like a realignment, copy function, and we have the options like a simulation of the forecast, and calculate the accuracy of the forecast. And the advantage of the demand planning is, like for example, if I want to compare with other tools, what is the benefit and what is the advantage of this demand planning tool? Like I have the question, like why I want to go for only the demand planning tool for APO. So the advantage of this screen and the beauty of the success of this demand planning is this screen. This we can call as a interactive planning screen. Here I can access like a any level of data. Like if I load one product, I can see the specific product transactional data. I can take 1,000 products, I can see the 1,000 products data. I can see country level, or I can see the regional level, I can see the global level data. And any department can access the data, like a sales, marketing, demand planning, even CEO of the company, like based on the authorization, they can have the access their data. Like a one tool, like for all the departments and all the levels of the data we can see here. I can see the table level data, I can see the graphical level of the data.
Okay.
So it's the advantage of this tool. And here, so I am accessing the data, like a lot of records are there, but no need to worry, because we have the tool, like we have the database called as a live cache. It's a powerful database, and this database will help you to get a data, like extract data or see a data fraction of seconds.
Okay.
Even if I load 1,000 products also, within the minute I can see the data. That is, the other database systems do not support, and APO having this special data base system and called as a live cache. And once I have finalized my demand, I will send to the SNP for the planning purpose. And this planning, like having the three type of things, like a total SNP, I can differentiate as a three things. One is the planning, another one is the deployment, and another one is the TLP. In the planning is nothing but like in R3, how we are doing a MRP, the same thing here we are doing, but here we have the advanced tools to do the planning. So those we can call as a heuristic and optimizer, and rule based it is called as a CTM. The heuristic is like a MRP, and I can do the infinite planning, and later I can do my capacity by manually I will do the capacity leveling. And optimizer, I want to do the based on the cost planning, then you can use the optimizer, and it will integrate to the HiLab server, and it will give the optimizer results in the APO system. So based on the system, based on the optimization results, I can go for my plan. And I want to do the prioritized plan, like I have the constraints of my capacity, then we can use the CTM. So there I can do the priority, like first you can fulfill my sales order, then you can go for the forecast, like that I can define my priority. So based on the constraints of the capacity, so it will do the finite planning for APO. Like that here I have the advanced method to do the effective planning, and based on the client requirement, we can choose one of the engines normally. And not only the planning, and we have the safety stock things, and again we have the aggregation and disaggregation, and again we have the same like a interactive planning for the SNP to do everything in one place and one place. And in the deployment, it will cover how to distribute your inventory to the DCs from the plant, And in the TLB, like this deployment results, I can confirm it and I can create a shipment and I will send these results to R3. So based on this information, they will do the execution. And here the advantage, cross-plant planning we can do and global level planning we can do. And I can connect n number of R3 systems and use all those data and I can do the global planning. And the PPDS, it is also for planning, but SNP for the midterm planning and PPDS for the short-term planning. And we can do the detailed level of the capacity leveling also. Why? Like the PPDS is for short-term planning. Here they have given the more advanced features for our planning. It means like in the PPDS, we have the 25 type of heuristics are there. Like normally in MRP, we have one MRP and SNP, we have the 3 type of heuristics, but here I have the 25 type of heuristics. And SAP is giving a provision to develop your own heuristics also. And we can use the optimizer, we can use the CPM for the PPDS planning, and here you will have the very detailed level of the planning. Normally, we will use the short-term planning in the PPDS and mid-term planning for the SNP, and this result we will send to the R3. So based on that, they will do the execution. And global available to promise, like R3 have the available to promise, just it will check at one plant level. For example, if I get a sales order, it will check if the stock is available or not. But normally the GATP will support you like it will check the availability across all the plants. It is not there, then it is integrated to the PPDS and it will run the PPDS planning. So based on this planning information, so it will give the date. Okay, my planning will be completed by next week. So next week end, I can able to deliver my product, so that it will give the capable to promise date for the delivery of this particular sales order. And it is integrated to the different modules like a DB and a PPDS, and based on the like how the client is wants, they can use the n number of the plants for check same material is available or not. And transportation planning and vehicle scheduling, like this module is specific to the who are the more complicated logistics or having the more fleet and where they want to optimize their transportation. And very rare companies are implemented as of now this transportation planning and vehicle scheduling, but this is basically recommended for the logistics companies. Even who are the manufacturer have a lot of vehicles are like more freight, own freight, so they can also use this specific module. Basically here you can optimize your cost of the transportation and like minimize your cost and optimize your transportation load. And the VMI also supporting by SAP APO, we can integrate the VMI system to our R3 system, and then based on this information we can do the planning in the APO. The results we can send to the R3. So this will be created directly purchase requisitions into the vendor system. And this is the screen for the alerts management. Like in one screen you can see this alerts. So when morning users come to this office, they can check these messages. So based on that, they can take the action. These are like exceptional things in the planning.
Okay.
Yeah. Any questions, Srikanth?
No, for this moment. I mean, I'm just concerned about that live cache.
Yeah, I will come to that process. And SNP, this is the example screen of the SNP. Like this is the interactive planning screen of the SNP. Like DP planning screen also same thing. Like here I can see the master data and I can give the selection ID. Okay, specific to the selection ID. Okay, salesperson, I can give the selection ID for him, so he can access only his data. And this is the planning books and data view. And this is the key figures. Like they can see the transactional data, they can see weekly and monthly, and they can see graphical and the table level.
Okay.
And this is the latest architecture of SAP SCM. Now the SCM is running by 7, and it is having the database live cache as a 7 and optimizer also 7. And we can connect the ECC system to APO system via SAP standard interface as CIS. And this is the integration part, like a SAP APO having the inbuilt BW server, and for total DP part, we will do based on this BW. Like the DP is designed based on the BW system.
Okay.
The DP, we are extracting the sales orders and sales history data from R3 so that we can store into the cubes, and we will do the planning, and this planning results I can save into the my backup cubes, and I can use for the reporting purposes. So, but SLP, it is like integrated to the directly from R3 system, like whatever the transaction data, like a PAR, like a, for example, if I go to the BP, and whatever the cost, and whatever the material data, and purchase orders, like it can take from the R3, and sales orders I will take from the R2, and I will do the planning in SNP, and the planning results I will send to the SNP, to SNP to ECC.
PIR,
So here,
PIR, what is PIR?
PIR is a planned independent requirement.
Okay.
Called as a output of the DP
Planned independent
requirement.
Okay.
And here, like we can differentiate, like a total data will go into the live cache, but it is into the different forms. It means the DP data is a time series data, and the SNP data is a order series data. Because
you're saying, continue.
Because if SNP any quantity, just if you go to the detail information, it will represent some order. It will represent some order number. But in the DP, just like it's a quantity.
Okay.
Because
I have a question here. I mean, in the question-based scenario, if I say like I have a 50,000, I came up with a demand figure of 50,000 cars of forecast. Okay, and that would be stored in a DP as a time series live cache, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In time series live cache, this 50,000 would be shown in perspective of characteristics and as a key figure this one in planning areas. So when this time series live cache is pushed into SNP, the same live cache, time series live cache becomes order series live cache. What I specifically want is what does it make in what does it make to say that a particular data is in a time series, and what does it change in a time series live cache to a order series? That's my question.
Yeah. Actually, in the DP, like the data is storing into the key figure, and there is for example, if I take a DP planning area and SNP planning area, the storage of the data we can differentiate by symmetric. There is a tab called as a symmetric. There I can differentiate. Okay, my DP data can be as order series, and my SNP data is like a symmetric as 000 and 001. So based on that, it will the background of the design. It's like a SNP is a order series and a DP as a time series. But when I'm releasing the forecast, it is a time series, and in SNP it's like order series. How the system is defined, from key figure to APO, DP, to I will send a category to SNP. There I am not releasing to the key figure, I am releasing as a category. In SNP, all transaction data is represented by different categories. For example, the forecast is a category, FA category. So I will send the data to the FA category, and this category I will assign to the forecast key figure in the SNP, so that the data is storing into the order series, but even I can see into the forecast key figure whatever the data got from the DP.
One moment here, I'm getting it. What is SA? Actually, what is SA?
FA is a category. It is like a design of the system, whatever the data you want to store, the transaction data. in SNP, it will be like a storing as a categories. Like a for
What do
every
you mean by, I mean, what do you mean by categories?
yeah, that is nothing but like a, for example, in APO to store a data DP, I can design as a key figure. The same thing like a SAP is designed in in SNP to store the data as a category.
Okay, categories
It
is
is like
like a product or something like that, or what it is?
no,
Like,
no, it is representing the transaction data.
yeah, transaction data with respect to is sales or what actually that
The
transaction.
transaction data is nothing but like anything, like your sales order, your PIR, your planned order, your purchase requisition, your stock, like all these like a transaction data. And each and every transaction data having a separate category. It means if I send a sales order from R3 to APO, in APO it will be stored into the category as a DM. That is the design of the system. So how we are designed the characteristic key figures in the DP, like that in SNP we are designed as a category because I want to store as a order because the planning data in R3 it will recognize in order only. Because if I send some key figure, R3 will not recognize. So to recognize, we have designed like a category to store my transaction data. Based on the transaction data, each and everything have the different category. And in the SNP planning area, there is a setting. These categories are assigned to the specific key figure.
Specific key figure.
Yeah, because in output of the interactive planning, I can see like a key figure.
Okay.
I cannot see like a category because like a to user friendly the output I want to see like as a category like a key figure, but in the background the data is storing into the category. So the category is assigned to this key figure so that in the interactive planning I can see like as a key figure, like as a DP. But physically the data is storing as a category. It is called as a order.
Okay. Can you, I mean, in between, I got confused. Like, if I understood correct or something, like, if I'm on the same page, uh, you said like, because for interactive purposes, like aggregation, usually in the theoretical books, what we read, when we read, it says like, to aggregate and segregate the data and to have a good interactive planning, you use key figures and characteristics to define your final output, that is your demand plan. So this way of storing the data, you call it as a time series, right?
Yes.
Okay. When this demand plan is pushed to the SNP, this the specific key figure is assigned to different. I mean, from ECC, like say it may be assigned to sales order or uh, planned order, or what kind of orders are there? Sales order, planned order, um,
Like a
individual.
purchase order or
Yeah.
purchase info records or purchase requisitions or like a stock.
Okay. Okay.
So those will be stored into as a categories.
Okay. Categories. So this key figure is assigned to any one of these, right?
Yeah, actually, SAP is like a there is a standard definition like a the sales order category is a BM. Like whatever the sales order you will send, it will come to the BM category. Like
Okay.
whatever the PAR I will send, it is a FA category. Like that, like whatever the stock I am sending, it is like a it's like a CC category. Like that, each and every transaction data will represent by the different categories.
Okay. Okay. And
Because like whatever you are saying the language, if I say in the same language, then only you can understand.
yeah,
Means
yeah.
From R3, I am getting like a order, like a sales order, purchase order, something. So if I send same order level data one in R3, then only it will recognize. So that is the reason in SNP we are designing as a categories, but by C into the outlook into the interactive, it will be like again assigned to the specific key figure. So there I can see, but again if you send into the background to the R3, again it will become as a order only. Like if I send the planned order to R3, you can see as a planned order in R3. If I send as a key figure, then R3 will not recognize it. So whatever you are talking the same language, if I talk the same language, then only you can understand.
Okay, okay. And one more thing here, just for
Yeah, 1 minute.
yeah. I think are you
So,
okay? Actually, I wanted to ask. I mean, we were
no,
coughing.
no, no. What? Yeah, no problem. Actually, 1 minute. Just I will complete this one. Then we will have the question and answer session. Anyway, it is having only another one more slide. So
Yeah.
let me complete this one. Then we will have the question and answer session.
Okay, okay.
So these are the integration part. Like this slide will be explain how APO system is integrated. Like APO, these are the modules, and BW is like a BW. We have the inbuilt server in the APO, and the live cache is a database, and the iLog server to calculate the optimizer. This is developed by the IBM, and SAP took for this to calculate this optimization, and we can integrate any systems to APO system. Example, I can integrate the BW system, I can integrate the ECC system, I can integrate CRM, PLM, any other system I can integrate. But the BW based on the extractor, and SIF like R3 system, and ALE battery I can integrate to other systems.
Okay.
And these are the pain points in the global system, like global supply chain. So to solve this one, we need to effective software. It is called as a APO. Like there is no proper forecast quality, excess inventory, and a lack of visibility of the supply chain, and capacity shortage. Like that, if we have these type of issues, like the solution is like implementing the APO.